We're divorce attorneys, and we just watched episode 3 of All's Fair. And let me tell you, there is a lot to unpack on this episode, so let's dive in. Okay, Anna, here we go. So I have to start on this one because I just have to say that the beginning, I was in shock. I was like, are you serious? Is Kim Kardashian really admitting to everything she gets done on a regular basis? All the surgery, all the lasers, all the stuff. I feel like it was her way of kind of letting people know what she does through her character. Like, maybe I don't do this, but my character does this. And it's like, no, you know you get all this stuff done and then some, right?
Yes, I felt the same way regarding Kim Kardashian when she was talking about the injections, the stuff that she puts on her butt to make her butt look bigger. Real. And honestly, I applaud her for that. Because It's real, it's true. A lot of people get it. I get Botox. No shame.
Oh, like the plasma injections, what else did she get done? Like the NAD, like all the stuff that it's just so much. And they portrayed it as, oh, I'm getting divorced. Like I'm going to get kind of like the revenge body situation. It's like, I'm going to look hot so that obviously like, you know, to make him jealous or whatever it is that she wants to do. But it was, I don't know. I feel like she was just admitting to getting all this stuff done. And it's like, oh, okay, like I'm taking notes.
Good for her. And I actually really did enjoy that scene, how they were sitting in the round table and each and every single one of them was talking about all of the work they get done. Even Glenn Close, even though I thought that part was kind of funny, how she said, oh, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, who is this old lady? Look at her face. She gets work done. Don't get me wrong, she looks great, but it's okay. You can say it.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, I feel her. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm getting old too. And it's like, what do you know, you are looking at yourself like, oh, is this really what I look like now? I mean, obviously, we're not Glenn's closest age, and neither are you. But it's like, you do. When you look back at pictures, like 10 years ago, we obviously worked together 10 years ago. I've known you since we were kids.
Right.
But, you know, and our adult life, looking at pictures from 10 years ago, we're like, oh my gosh, we were babies. So I totally get that comment on that case. But I do like that they just finally are all admitting to getting all this work done. Even if it's through their characters, it's like, okay.
It's normal. We all get it done. You don't have to be really rich to work on yourself. And it's okay. I enjoy it.
It is expensive though. But about the surgery and clients, they tied it into the case that they are essentially working on, which is the Jessica Simpson, where she comes in and she's saying that her husband, well, first she tried to get plastic surgery to try to stay young and look good for her husband because she felt that pressure. And then her character goes into all the abuse, you know, he made her feel ugly and you need to get this done. And eventually she gets so much plastic surgery that she's completely botched. And I think that's real, right? Like, and we see that.
It is real. But I do have to say, while watching that, I understand they really wanted to make us feel bad for her. I was so distracted with how they made her look so botched. I get that was her character. So I have to talk about that with her nose, her lips, her cheeks, her body. But like you said, that is reality. We've had cases with clients, once they get that check, the hundreds and thousands of dollars that they get, the first thing they do is redo their face and their body. So it is real. It is real.
It is. In this case, with the character, Jessica Simpson's character, she got it done during the divorce. And it was, you know, obviously she got like all botched. And yes, it was distracting how much surgery that they showed that she got. But it's like we've seen people, a few things. One, we've seen people get all kinds of makeovers, like mommy makeovers and all of that stuff. And during the marriage, and then they start feeling themselves like, oh my gosh, like I look pretty good. And then that causes them to cheat. So then they end up with us getting divorced. And also the whole settlement, they get the settlement check and then they take that money. It's like, I'm going to get this revenge body and look amazing. We've seen that too. Do you remember actually, did we have a client who like came in once and we saw her, we're like, oh yeah, you know, and she came in another time, we didn't recognize her?
Yes, she spent
like
definitely over 100,000.
Well,
100,000. New face, new body, Again, good for her.
Yeah.
But we for sure did not recognize her. And you know what? Good for her. She wanted her revenge body. And that's what even the Kardashians, what they do. Look at Khloe right now. She looks amazing. And Kim Kardashian did it too. So it is normal. And they did obviously tie it into this character, the Jessica Simpson character, because clients do that. It is real life, and we see it all the time. Even if it's something simple with, we've seen breast augmentation that they do. And like you said, even the mommy makeover, where the funny thing is we've actually had clients who have asked, can I get my ex to pay for my mommy makeover? Because I've had X amount of children. I'm the one who put in so much into this relationship. And if only I was Kim Kardashian from All's Fair giving you bad legal advice, I would say, of course, we'll take everything from him so you can get that mommy makeover. Reality, that doesn't happen. You cannot get that.
Right? People get so angry about it too. They're like, but how? How does he just to get to walk away, start his new life with his body intact? Meanwhile, I went through the ringer and I don't get compensated for that? It's like, no, California law doesn't compensate for that. Sorry. But that's the reality.
Right. And unfortunately, yes, she talks about the abuse. And that is something that's, again, really real with our cases. And the frustrating part is in this show when they give the bad lawyering, the bad advice.
So bad. So bad.
I know. What part was it that?
Oh, it was.
I'm sure. I think I know what you're going to say.
So the part where they're like, you were abused. He made you get all this surgery. He made your face get botched. He essentially, emotionally abused you and did all these things. So you're entitled to more than half of the estate. Like, what?
That would never happen anywhere. This is California, no fault state, by the way. So no. It's a 50-50.
50-50, like if your face got botched, if he abused you, if he did this, yes, maybe it's not fair. I mean, that's California though. You do not get, he abused me, he did this, he did that. I get 70% of the state. Absolutely not. Never. Bad advice. This show is just giving so much bad legal advice. And I'm actually, now that I think about it, kind of scared because if people out there who are getting divorced are watching this, can you imagine they're going to come to us for consultations and have those expectations?
That's the frustrating thing when you do watch these shows with the bad attorneys, bad lawyering, and they make it so dramatic, even with the settlements. When they throw the settlement offer across the table. I've never done that. Have you ever done that?
No. That's like so dramatic. It's like you sit on opposite sides and then you just slide the paper across.
Never done that. And so I think that's the frustrating part is a lot of clients watch these movies, these shows, these type of dramatic shows and come in with those unrealistic expectations. You're not aggressive. Why didn't you yell at them? Why didn't you threaten them? Because I deserve all of this. I deserve more than 50%. We have to simmer them down. You don't get more than 50%. Sorry. He can be a complete jerk, abusive, horrible. Unfortunately, that's not the law.
No. So I am hopeful that potential clients out there, watch this and realize that is not real. This is Hollywood. This isn't real life. But again, bad legal advice all throughout. What else happened in the show?
So with going back to the Jessica Simpson character, what's frustrating is, and this actually does happen, during the scene, despite them being dramatic and giving them bad legal advice, they actually seem to get her a really good settlement offer. And unfortunately, at the end, she snapped. And it seemed because of
what did she do again?
So because of all the abuse, it seemed to just consume her. And she went to go follow her ex-husband and confronted him with his new younger person and threw acid in his face.
Revenge.
Revenge. And I bet it felt amazing at the time, but then she just does not think about the consequences. And I know we talked about this in our last episode where it's just not worth it. I know divorce, but do not let it consume you when you let that emotion take over, because she was getting, it seemed like she was getting a good settlement. And unfortunately that happens with some of our clients where we're going to get them a really good result and they just let their emotion take over and make completely bad decisions, which can ruin their life.
Right. It's like, just call us first. Like, talk to us. Don't make these bad decisions. Like why did you just pick up the phone and call us? Tell us, I'm going to do this. And we would tell you, don't do it. Clients do that all the time. We get them these amazing settlement offers, and before we sign, they go and do something so dramatic.
Yes, where people don't ever follow them. And that's the first thing that Jessica Simpson should have done. Do not follow them. Don't throw stuff at them. Don't take matters into your own hands. Trust your attorneys. We're here to help you. We are here to help you, and just trust the process. And unfortunately, she just didn't think of her case. And even Kim Kardashian says if only she would have called them, probably would have made it seem better. But moving on from Jessica Simpson, then they go into the negotiating between Sarah Paulson, again, her ridiculous character, and for Kim Kardashian's divorce.
Well, actually, before you go on that, the ridiculous character, talk about the ridiculous outfits. The ridiculous Sarah Paulson, she comes in to this settlement with a bow, like a giant Christmas bow, like this big. It's like her shoulders. It's huge. I'm like, who wears this?
Can you imagine?
Seriously.
Not only, okay, are you walking, but sitting down. How can you type? And it's not even like a loose bowl or a bow. It's not a loose bowl. It's huge. Imagine like you're typing. I would not, even answering a phone. I don't know how. Again, like you said, ridiculous outfit. No.
It's because these attorneys on the show aren't answering phones, and they're not typing, and they're not working. That's why they have horrible lawyering skills, I think. But all the outfits in general on this episode were a little bit ridiculous. Kim wore stuff that was just so tight. In reality, attorneys are working, 8, 9, 10, 12-hour days? You cannot imagine cross-examining not being able to breathe. Like, you're going to be focused on, I can't breathe, versus your actual job.
Paying attention, being in front of the judge, looking uncomfortable. No, thank you. I'm okay looking comfortable. Well, I'm okay being comfortable, but you still want to look nice.
Absolutely.
And so there's some outfits, don't get me wrong. And I know we've talked about this in the other episodes. Some of the outfits are really cute. It's just realistically, we would not wear them to court, or let alone in front of a client or even a judge. That would be embarrassing.
And not only that, but Kim's wearing like this super tight clothes. And in the episode, she's injecting hormones. Really? You're going to be, hormones for women, it's like, it's going to bloat you. It's going to make you, like, you're injecting hormones and wearing that outfit. Like, this is so unrealistic. It's just so bad. It's all so bad. But speaking of that, I did like that they brought up the whole embryo issue. So where in this episode, there's an issue with, obviously Kim's getting divorced, and they froze their embryos because they wanted to have children in the future and so forth. And that becomes a whole thing. And I was like, yes, they actually brought this stuff up. It's something that people don't know, but we deal with that all the time.
Right. It's a newer law. And I'm really glad, like you said, that they actually brought it up because it is real life. We actually had a case. I don't know if you remember, about a year ago, similar situation. The parties were separating and the embryos were at issue. And at the end of the day, it all came down to the contract.
Yes.
What does the contract say?
Yep. So with embryos, when you go freeze your embryos or whatever it is at the fertility clinic, they make you enter into a contract. And on that contract, it tells you, you have to negotiate who's going to keep these embryos, like who's going to have rights over them. So that part, unrealistic, or maybe her contract at the fertility clinic, Kim Kardashian's, stated that they both had to essentially agree, or I don't know, something. But she's an attorney. She's this high-powered attorney. She didn't think of this? Really?
That was one of the biggest issues I had, which maybe it is real, but so her character is supposed to be a very powerful divorce attorney, meaning she knows her stuff. So the fact that you're telling me that she got married to this younger guy with no prenup, let alone a good contract for the embryos.
No.
Come on. Absolutely not.
No, it's if I'm paying a Kim Kardashian high-powered attorney and she doesn't have a prenup and she wasn't able to negotiate her embryo contract, then she is probably not a good attorney, and I definitely don't want her representing me. Like, all of this is realistic in some facts, but unrealistic when it comes to the law.
Right. And going back to their bad negotiating, even for her divorce case.
Oh my gosh. I know exactly what you're talking
Not
about.
only the scene where she threw the settlement offer,
Of course.
all dramatic, her entrance, but the fact that they're trying to negotiate the division of the law firm. He's not even an attorney.
So, yeah, exactly. They're saying, oh, husband's going to want 50% of your law firm. No, absolutely not. He's not an attorney. In California, in order for you to be able to own a law firm, you have to be an attorney. He's not an attorney. That's not even realistic. You can't do that.
No. And then they also try to bring in the fact that he's seen other women and their possibility of having STDs and how that could affect the case. Realistically, California is a no-fault state.
Yes, it doesn't affect the case, but we do unfortunately see that a lot too, especially with our cheating cases, where the spouse comes and says, you know, I got an STD from my spouse, and they get so upset about that. Obviously, they get so upset about that, and they want it to affect their divorce. They want to negotiate either a bigger settlement, or they just want this revenge, or the whole it's not fair and it's not right. And again, like you said, California, no fault state. Like, it doesn't matter if you got STDs. I mean, maybe from a civil perspective, that's a whole nother thing, meaning like whether it's a civil lawsuit or whatever you want to go from that. But in family law divorce, it's just, sorry, too bad, so sad.
Agreed. The fact that they were keep bringing that up as in, oh, that's a chip that we're going to play. We're going to get the upper hand. It's going to help with your divorce. No, again, with the more bad lawyering that they do, and hopefully does not give these expectations to clients when they come in here. Because unfortunately, like you said, we do deal with that. That was actually a real issue, a very real and common issue that we deal with in divorce cases.
Right. So overall, I think episode 3, if I had to rate it, I would say, again, when it comes to the emotional aspects, it was pretty accurate. They brought real life, you know, issues that do come up. But as it pertains to the law, I mean,
yeah, and
it was just bad. It was just so bad.
What really made the episode even worse was the very end with Kim Kardashian and the embryos.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Where she forged her husband's signature to release the embryos and get implanted.
So now, not only is Kim Kardashian a high-powered divorce attorney with no prenup, unable to negotiate her embryos, but now she is committing fraud and is possibly going to go to jail.
Lose her license too.
Lose her license. So she's just on the wrong path.
Yeah.
Just all bad. All bad.
Hopefully Kim Kardashian does not think that this is what attorneys actually do.
Now I'm scared about Kim getting her license because I hope she doesn't think that this is the real practice of law.
Hopefully not. But overall, the episode, there were a lot of real issues that we deal with. The STDs, the revenge, the new body, plastic surgery, revenge body, the contracts, the negotiating, a lot of it real issues, just over the top, wrong, bad law.
That's it for episode 3. Don't forget to stay tuned and stay connected.